Okay, this video is a follow-up video to the Future of Religion video that I made earlier. There was questions about things that I figured more into another video because other people in the future may have similar questions once a lot of this stuff is exposed. So there's a question about holidays. Specifically, a lot of our holidays, or pretty much everything, has rituals behind it. So a lot of the holy days that we really celebrate and that mean a lot to us, a lot of their origins are from pagan things and worse. There's a lot of it's not just people dancing around a campfire and believing really odd stuff. There's some really, really, really dark things behind some of the rituals associated with things that eventually got into our holidays. And so one of I mean, I've heard a common thing where people don't want to be fooled. They don't want to unknowingly take part in things that were related to really gross, dark things. They really don't. And that's a very, very valid viewpoint that a lot of people are going to have. And so this video is sort of explaining more about that and how we came to this point and whatnot. So just getting down to the point. This world was a lot more rough and tumble than people think. Yes, the ideal would be to have holidays that are 100% pure and holy and 100% above board, 100% just great, and there's nothing really bad about it. It's just 100 divine, wonderful, great thing that we have that's purely from only good. And that we can thoroughly just say, hey, this is our day. This is a good day. There's nothing bad about it. And that's a really good thing that we want. But that's really not how the history of the earth worked out. The leadership of the earth, the elite, the ancient ruling families, they were messed up. They were really, really messed up. And again, the reason why you couldn't replace them up to this point is simply because it would create a vacuum, like I explained in the last video. Watch the last video first. I explain a lot of this stuff. You can't replace them, or else it's going to create a vacuum and destabilize things. So you're going to get it filled with tons more people will do the same or worse. So ultimately, why would you have holidays that mean good things based upon days that used to be really horrible in many ways? Well, first off, way back when, you'll have to look through some of my other videos to get more information on a lot of this. In the time of the giants, in the time of the old society, there were some things that were really bad going on that were not from our eternal society. They were from the old society, from the giants, from a really bad group. And you also had pagan stuff that was really, really not nice. Not just all this, okay, well, let's be in tune with Mother Earth. No. There was some really, really bad things going on in the history of the planet. And so when you look at the ancient rites and rituals, when it came to the time of Christianity and to turning the holidays into something good, you had a lot of different beliefs in this god and that god and these rituals and that stuff that we needed to replace. If you look at ancient Carthage, I mean, a lot of the stuff wasn't just a couple elites here and there. There was a lot of rituals that went really, really popular that were really not good. So the whole thing that elite were told was, hey, this is ancient power. This is really deeply magical stuff, and you don't want these regular nuts, these regular people. You don't want them to have that ancient power. You want to keep it for yourselves. Greed. You want to have this power. You don't want to share that. You want them having all this power to you when you could have it. I mean, this is the true knowledge. And so they said, yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm simplifying a lot. But basically, yeah, you don't want to share that. And so that's one reason to cut off knowledge of these secret powers and this deeply magical dark power that's going to make them all powerful. It's a reason to cut that off from the rank and file, these people, that they don't need to know that. And remember, this is the viewpoint that's told to the elite. And another side of the coin is another thing that was told to them. Well, you need to get power, and the more people that are taking part in your rituals, the more are going to get you power. So you can trick these people into being part of your rituals without them even knowing it. And you're going to get all this dark ancient power from it. Well, so they said, let's do that. And so you get this system set up where a lot of holidays are made for reasons that were really bad. They want to trick humanity into taking apart in these really, really dark rituals that had in a lot of cases really, really, really bad stuff that I can't mention here. And so that's a really bad thing. You don't want to be tricked into being a part of symbolism that's meant for dark stuff, right? No, I mean, we really don't. But look at the alternatives. We are the slave class, basically. Almost all the world is the slave class. The elite don't do things because they're nice. If you're going to get a break, you're going to get a break because of things that they think it's a bad thing. So ultimately, one of the first things about it is, yeah, people needed breaks. People needed time to stop and have celebrations and relax a bit. That's just humane. That helps the workflow. That helps people have a decent life. And so that's part of it. Yeah, we need to have holidays, times of celebration. We needed that. And that's one of the ways that we can get it when they really didn't want to give it any other way. It's convince them of something bad. But again, would you say, okay, well, I still don't want to take part in things at rituals? Well, yeah, nobody does. And in fact, we shouldn't. However, you do need to understand the other side of the other side here. And the other side here is that before all this, you had tons of pagan stuff, rituals all over the place. You had a society that wasn't educated, that they thought that this would really bring them really good power. And so when you have the elite intentionally trying to hide this secret power from rank and file, what you have is them actually willingly reducing the amount of rituals that goes on in society. And ultimately, these rituals don't do anything. These rituals don't give them power. It's just tricks. The main point is to get people to stop doing that. And you can't do anything about the elite. They're going to be nuts either way. They're going to be evil either way. And so by having them hold on to this secret ancient power for themselves, what you're really doing is taking all of humanity slowly away from rites and rituals that people have done for thousands of years and replacing them with holidays that are a lot more innocent. You know, yes, there are symbols and stuff that the elite are snickering about, and they're just laughing their heads about how we just don't understand what we're doing, and we think that we're doing one thing and we're really doing another. But look at it. I mean, every number has been given some meaning, every color, every shape. I mean, they put secret meanings on so many things, you can't possibly avoid it. You can't possibly avoid it. And they laugh about everything like that. But really, honestly, the joke was on them. They were so evil, they weren't going to allow anything to happen that was good. So we had to trick them every step of the way. And look at how many people then stopped doing those rites and rituals and then started having celebrations for better reasons. Yes, it's a lot better reason to do it because of the better motivation that most of the world had. And then you then had the dark rituals limited to as small amount of people as it could. And it wasn't then like it is now. Now there's a lot of elite. Back then, there wasn't that many. And they kept things close. So the lowering the number of people in rituals, that was one of them. Another thing, like I said, was having the celebrations at all. And so then what about the symbolism? Like, they believe it gives them power if we get tricked into it, but really, honestly, everything's a symbol. Everything can be turned into a symbol. All the numbers are taken, colors are taken, shapes are taken. So look at it this way. What really did happen is we tricked them into stopping the rituals for most people in the world. People don't want to be fooled into doing something that's for the devil. And that's a right thing to not want. But you also have to understand that yes, humanity was tricked into doing things that were for the devil from the elite's point of view. But you have to understand that as much as humanity was fooled, the elite were fooled 10 times worse, 100 times worse. They were fooled into doing things that were actually in the best interests of humanity as much as it possibly could be, considering how really difficult it is to teach people. So, yes, we were fooled, but they were fooled first. And when you put all of it together, look at the net effect. The net effect is that we have holidays that really, truly, deeply meant something for a lot of people. And that's true. And honestly, a lot of these holidays will still have over on the other side. They won't have Halloween. They don't have Halloween. They're not gonna. That's not over there. That's not on the other side. I mean, for here, I mean, people don't know what it is right now, and it's fine to take part as long as take good judgment. But they don't have it on the other side. They do have Christmas. They don't have all the symbols, true, but they do have Christmas, and they do have New Year's. They do have a lot of things over there, celebration. They have a lot of all on their own. They even have Valentine's Day. They don't really maybe necessarily call it that in every area. They might call it Friendship Appreciation Day, but you can make hearts if you want. There's a lot of things that they do have because honestly, it is not just the elite fooling us. With a lot of the dark stuff that the elite had, it was twisted in originally with a lot of good stuff that they corrupted. Well, if they corrupted good stuff and they mixed it in with bad to try to pollute it, well, you know what? Honestly, sometimes that gets undone. And some of the things that the elite believe, a very small amount, they're actually good. Because it's a lot worse to take good stuff, pollute it with bad, so that you have people throw it all away. But ultimately, before the elite even happened, there were pure teachings that they took some little bits and parts of and intentionally did bad things with them so that they would lose all value of everything. So holidays are one of those things. Holidays, you need to have holidays. You need to have break days. And quite honestly, there's a lot of days out of the year. And if you look at the ritual calendars, you can find ritual days every month in almost any part of a month. I mean, you can, there's so many ritual days, you can't get away from them. No matter where you put a holiday on the calendar, it's going to be really close to something. It just is. And no matter what symbolism you use, it's going to have something unintentionally that's going to relate to something. So, they can't have everything. Holidays are good. Some things like Halloween, there comes a point where you have to just not have it. Once enough people know. And is that going to happen here? Are they ever going to get rid of Halloween here on this earth? I don't know. But it happens on the next side. They don't have it there. what the future of holidays? Who knows? But the point is, every time you think that the elite have fooled us, understand they were fooled themselves first and worse. And ultimately, nothing came about in this world that was good easy. In order to get any of the good stuff, it was a big mess getting it. Every single religion that was a major religion was corrupted in some way, and usually very, very bad ways. So use good judgment and understand. Yeah, we don't want to be fooled, but they were fooled first and worse. And the ultimate goal is we need to have good things and good belief systems and have holidays that truly mean something good. And you're not going to be able to have it without colors that the Kabbalists have claimed, because they've claimed almost everything. You're not going to be able to have it without shapes and symbols or numbers that they really wanted, because they claimed almost everything for some purpose. You're not going to be able to have it on a day that is not theirs, because they claimed almost every single day. They have, it is really ridiculous the amount of things that they did. When it comes down to it, you just gotta stop and say, hey, this is my day. We're gonna make it mean whatever we want it to mean, and they're just gonna have to go pound sand. And that's really it with holidays. Have good judgment, that's all you can do. There's always going to be something really, really dark that things were related to, because quite honestly, the elite were really, really, really dark, and they didn't let anything happen unless there was a lot of darkness associated. But they've done a lot of good stuff with holidays, and it really helped a lot of people. And there was a lot more light. We took the ritual days from them, and when we made them our own. And when we did that, we took it from the dark and brought it to the light. Because they took things from the light and brought it to dark, so we brought it right back to the light. We're not going to let them have this one. They don't get just to take the whole calendar. They don't get to take every single day, every single symbol, every single this, that, and other. They don't get to do that. They don't get to take every single day and associate with something. We have our holidays. We need to keep good judgment, but take it back. And you just got to do that, because they were fooled into giving us times that really helped us. So just remember it that way.